Hey up, it's Steve from the Old Yorkshire Geek, and it's Wednesday, which means it's my midweek news stream. Sort my hair out, it's going mad. Right, so I've scoured the internet for about half an hour. I found some news stories for us to have a look at. But before we start, don't forget, like and subscribe. Hang on, let me fingers right. I'm rubbish at this. Like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell. If you subscribed already, we're live on YouTube. So let me check. Just make sure we are going. Yes, we're live on YouTube. Should be live on Rumble. Let me check that. Refresh. Come on, Rumble. Show us your wares, because I'll be showing my wares in a minute, so to speak. And we're live on Twitch. Right. So, later on, I'll be uploading it to Spotify, Amazon Music Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. The links for all the stories that we're going to look at are in the description. So later on, I'll be adding timestamps so you can switch about if you want to relive the glory that is that Old Yorkshire Geeks midweek live news stream. I bet nobody watches it, but never mind. Anyway, welcome, Josh Temple. He's here. Look, he was here early. Never fear, Mad is here. Harpoon at the ready. Yes, it's what we need. More harpoons. And Windgrace thinks he's here, but he's not quite sure. He's not quite sure he's Windgrace. He's not. Maybe he isn't. He's not. You know, the old "I think, therefore I am." Maybe Windgrace isn't am. Anyway, I'm also on Facebook, X, and Instagram. Links in the description for that. Those, as are the links. Said I'm going to sell me wares. Silent Predator, short horror novella about big cats eating people in North Yorkshire. Mercury Rapids, a light-hearted sci-fi action adventure about UFOs and stuff. They're on Amazon Kindle and paperback. I've got gum. Sorry. I'll stick it on top of my monitor for later. Or I'll forget about it like I did the last one, and it was there for about 3 weeks until I remembered to get rid of it. Amazon Kindle and paperback. Links, whatever. Right, let's get on with the stories. Right. Right, make myself teachy tiny. There we go. And got a full screen this, because I'm trying to be professional and failing miserably as usual. There we go. First up, Doctor Who drops first look at Ncuti Gatwa's Ncuti, you know, Brian and Shane. I did tell you, and you did, you know, acknowledge my comment, you know, but you just ignored it and carried on calling him Ncuti. Whatever. Ncuti Gatwa's Christmas special, and there he is with Millie Gibson as Ruby Sunday. Right, the BBC. This is from from Dexerto. It sounds like a bloody big pharma company, doesn't it? But apparently. And the author is Leon Miller. Have you noticed I started acknowledging the websites and the authors just in case? Right. Anyway, Windgrace says, I've seen a bunch of people still calling him Ncuti, lol. Well, that's how it's spelled, isn't it? That's how I pronounced it first time I saw the name, because I hadn't heard it spoken out loud, and then I did. So then I changed. Anyway, Windgrace, I procrastinated too much. I haven't talked about the episode yet, and the next one is almost out. Yeah, as I said, I quite enjoyed that first 60th anniversary special. That's my reviews up if you want to watch it. I did quite enjoy it. I thought it was pretty good. Yes, the messaging was over the top and, you know, in your face, on the nose, ham-fisted, etc. Choose any, you know, adjectives you want to choose, any descriptives, adverbs, etc. It was a bit over the top. Maybe they've got it out their system, and hopefully it won't be too bad going forward, but you never know. Right. Anyway, so we'll see. The next one is called The Wild Blue Yonder, and we've got a story about that as well coming up. So anyway. Right, the BBC just released first look stills from the upcoming Doctor Who Christmas special, spotlighting the 15th Doctor, Ncuti Gatwa, and Ruby Sunday, Millie Gibson. The Christmas special, also known as the Holiday Special, will premiere on... Not that Holiday Special. Will premiere on BBC One. By the way, when I was a kid and I heard this term holiday special, I always thought it was summer, because I never in Britain in my case at least, we never associated Christmas with holidays. We always associated holidays with summer, as in going on holiday. You call it vacation, but we'd go on holiday to the seaside or whatever. So I always thought, holiday special should be in summer. And then I realised the holidays were Christmas time over the pond. But that was many years ago when I was a kid. Anyway, I start again. The Christmas special, also known as the holiday special. I wonder if it's got B, what's her face in from Golden Girls. Will premiere on BBC One, I've forgotten her name now. UK and Ireland, and Disney Plus everywhere else on December 25th, Christmas Day. Titled, was it Holiday Day? Titled The Church on Ruby Road, it will mark Gatwa's first full outing as the 15th Doctor, following his introduction in the third and final Doctor Who 60th anniversary special, The Giggle. Little else is known about the plot of the Doctor Who Christmas special, other than that Millie Gibson will also feature as the Doctor's new companion, Ruby Sunday. They're getting that in a lot, aren't they? They just want to see me singing, that's what it is. That said, it's possible for fans to divine at least a few more Doctor Who Christmas special details from the BBC's new promotional stills shared via the official Doctor Who X account. Still not getting used to calling it X. It's Twitter, isn't it? Why did he call it X? Did he just want to get rid of the word Twitter and want to call it his own thing? I don't know, but it's weird. And here it is. Look to the future. Here's a first look at the Doctor and Ruby in action. Can we? Right. If I click on this, is it going to just bring the pictures up, or is it going to go all stupid? No, it's gone to X. Never mind. At least it's displaying it. And there he is. That says a handsome chap. Getting snow on him. I hope it is proper snow and not some like asbestos or something like that, what they might use in showbiz. And there they are. Are they tied to are they lashed to a mast or something? It looks on an old ship, doesn't it? Very Pirates of the Caribbean, but they look happy. Fair enough. Is that it? Is that just two pictures? Just got two pictures. Right, cool. See, I'm going to have to get out of it now because it's done that. Right. Blooming number. Wingrace says, apparently he's been trying to rename things X for years. They didn't let him with PayPal. Okay. So one day I called it Texla instead of Tesla, Texla. I thought so, wouldn't you? I mean, he's got SpaceX, fair enough. What did he call his kid? Did his kid have X in its name? He had some weird formula. Didn't want it his name for that kid. I'm saying his, whatever. Anyway, whatever. Right. So fair enough. A couple of photos. The first image depicts a somber 15th Doctor against a snowy out-of-focus backdrop because it's Christmas. Despite the blur, it's possible to make out what appears to be a neon shopfront and a lit-up Christmas tree. This seemingly confirms that at least part of the Doctor Who Christmas special takes place on present-day Earth. The second image is even more revealing. It spotlights a more cheerful Doctor standing opposite a perplexed Ruby. The duo appear to be tied to an old wooden post, or lashed to a mast, as I said, in this scene, which indicates they'll be taken captive at some point in the Doctor Who Christmas special. However, it's worth noting that BBC, not the BBC, just BBC, hasn't confirmed any of these plot details at this stage. As such, you should treat them as pure speculation for now. One thing we do know for certain is that the Doctor Who Christmas special will usher in a new era for the franchise. Well, it's season 1, isn't it? Showrunner Russell T Davies said as much in a recent interview describing Gatwa's tenure in the TARDIS as a reset for the show. Davies has since revealed that this approach extends to the Doctor Who villains the 15th Doctor will and won't face. According to the showrunner, iconic baddies the Daleks and the Cybermen. Look out, Doctor, it's the Cybermen. So it's a Viz joke, Viz comic. Cybermen, won't appear in Doctor Who Series 14/Season 1. as he didn't want to look back too much. And that's it. Right, fair enough. So cool. Let's say we'll see, won't we? We'll see. Looking forward to it. Not long to go now. Not long to go. Just under a month. Here we go. His kid was like X minus 34 plus Apple Core 7. Yeah, something like that, wasn't it? I'm going to have to look it up now. I forgot his bloody name. Elon Musk. Still says an alien. I do. Still says an alien. And you picked Elon Musk much the way that Ford Prefect picked his name. Or chose his name, should I say. Right, come on. Where are we? Come on, where's your family life and your kids and all that? Neuralink. I haven't called that. I haven't put an X in that either, has he? Hyperloop. Bloody hell, how many companies does he own? Just bear with me. Come on, bloody hell. Business. Don't care about your business. It's not even on there, look. It's not even on there. Just 8 million referenced links. Does it say it on the side? Companies, related, relatives. Right, family. Musk family. Right. Notable members. No, I want his family. Oh, for crying out loud. Maybe he's had it erased from Wikipedia. Spouses, partners, children. 11. Bloody 11 kids. Unbelievable. Elon Musk wants to save humanity. The only problem, people. That's a headline to do with him. Anyway. I don't know. I can't find it. Never mind. I'm not bothered. Right. Next. So there we go. I'm looking forward to that. Not long to go now. So anyway, let's move on. We're sticking with Doctor Who. I think the first 3 stories are Doctor Who stories. I lump them all together. So if you're just interested in Doctor Who, when I've got through with these, you can bugger off and do something else. Anyway. I'm not one of these that says, I'll split them all through. You've got to watch it all the way to the end. And I don't care. It's up to you, innit? You'll either watch it or you won't. By the way, speaking of watching things and all that stuff and subscriptions, thank you to everybody who subscribed recently. We're on 492. I'm spitting now, I think. Hang on, let me double check. I think we're up to 492. Yes, we are 492. So 8 away from the magic 500, and I'll get one of those amazing plaques from YouTube, won't I, for 500 subscribers? Will I? I don't know. No, I don't think so. Anyway, right, back to Doctor Who. Director of next Doctor Who episode releases PSA, public service announcement, every fan should see after intense speculation. This is from Screen Rant. And Hannah Gearan. Right. Oh, there he's looking. Oh. One bit I hated about this, the first 60th anniversary, when he got excited. He and Donna got excited about the inside of the new TARDIS. By the way, is this what it's going to look like for Ncuti Gatwa? Or is it going to change again when we get to him? Don't know. I thought it was going to be like we'd seen with the other reboot TARDIS interiors, all dark and with like crystalline structures and that. I thought it was going to be like that again. Anyway, I don't know. Right. This article covers a developing story. Continue to check back. Shut up. Right. The director of the next Doctor Who episode clarifies some fan rumours surrounding the upcoming special. After premiering the first of 3 60th anniversary specials titled The Star Beast, Doctor Who releases its next episode, Wild Blue Yonder, on December 2nd. The second special is directed by franchise newcomer Tom Kingsley. Now, Kingsley puts out a public service announcement to Doctor Who fans about the secrecy surrounding the next episode. Check out his statement below. Right, and here's the tweet. I had the massive honour of directing a new episode of Doctor Who with this dream team of Tennant Tate and RTD, Ruth T. Davis. While Blue Yonder is out on Saturday, it's weird and exciting, and the plot is a total secret. I can't wait to see what happens in it. Fan PSA. The story of Wild Blue Yonder isn't a secret because there are any surprise returning actors or villains. Does that mean there are? Don't they like, aren't they? These TV and Hollywood types. I know it's not Hollywood, BBC, but you know what I mean. It's just because we thought you might find it fun to watch it without knowing what's going to happen next. Promise. Don't believe you, Tom. I think something's going to happen. Hang on, sorry. There we go. They said in the interview, this will be Ncuti's TARDIS. All right, fair enough. But who knows if they're lying? Well, you never know, do you? I thought we'd seen part of it in, I forgot what they call them now, that Tales of the TARDIS series that they have on, I don't know if you've seen it over there yet. It's been on the BBC iPlayer. Tales of where they've had past doctors and past companions doing little bookends in this special TARDIS area. But it had like a little central section that looks like the TARDIS control room, but in miniature. And I thought that were going to be what Ncuti's were going to look like. But anyway, whatever. With like these golden yellow crystalline bits, like Stonehenge, you know, that sort of thing. Anyway. It's not legally available in the US, isn't it? Oh, right. I didn't know if it was going to be on like Disney Plus or something. Oh, right. Anyway, I enjoyed them. I thought they were good. Them Tales of the TARDIS. And that's it. That's it. More to come. Right, fair enough. Fair enough. So it could be fibbing. Could be fibbing. Maybe there are returning actors and villains. Who knows? As long as it's not Davros. Would he strutting about like thinking his Grand Moff Tarkin? Although the new scenes are on YouTube. Okay. Oh, the bookends, have they put them up on YouTube with the companions and the old doctors? The ones that wanted to do it. Don't know why there's no Tom Baker in. Don't know why. Or at least a Tom Baker companion or two. Weird. Anyway. Right. Right, so let's move on. So there we go. So he's saying you know, it's a secret because we don't know anything about it, do we? We saw from the teaser that they seem to be on some sort of spaceship or installation or whatever. It looks like a spaceship. Did they do with K9? No, we didn't see K9. I said nothing to do with Tom Baker that I could see. Obviously, no. I'm trying to think of Tom Baker's companions now. But obviously, Sarah Jane's passed away. Elizabeth Sladen, I don't know how to pronounce it. But Leela, I forgot the name of that actress. Louise something or other, forgotten. She's still around, I think. They could have had Leela on it. What else have they had? Can't remember. I'm blanking on Tom Baker's companions. But no, they didn't have a Tom Baker one. They had all the others from the classic era, but no Tom Baker. And obviously no Paul McGann. But anyway. But they had all the others. Right. What was I saying? Oh, yes, it's a secret because we saw that they're on a spaceship or something that looks like a spaceship. And there's something there. First, there were no life signs, but then something is there. Don't know what it is. I reckon it's the mummies from Mars because they're not alive, are they? I don't know. They did hated that, where they got all giddy and excited. But anyway. Right, let's move on. Let's move on to the last. This is one where I might rant a bit or get a bit cross because this is a stupid article from the Huffington Post. So fair enough. From Daniel Welsh. Hang on, let me have a look at that bit. By Daniel Welsh, and that picture. I know it's little. Oh, you can't see it. Hang on. Is that just, you know? I'm going to click on it. Oh no, it is a fella. It is a fella. Thought it was a girl. Oh, I've pressed the wrong button again because I'm an idiot. Oh, go back again. There we go. Right. Right. This Doctor Who scene from 50 years ago should put an end to any tedious pronouns debate. The show has always been woke, one Whovian wrote in response to the clip. But it wasn't about pronouns, it was about preferred pronouns. And that I did skip down to see what the clip was. And as you can see there, it's from the Pertwee era. It's very short. But let's read the article so I can get cross. If you don't know what I'm talking about, when Tennant is talking to the Meep, Dobby the house elf, sound like him. Old Yasmin Finney here, who plays Rose Noble, cooking the dad, as in not cooking to eat, Cucking, because they don't want to take his name. He's Sean Temple. She don't want to be called Rose Donna Temple. She don't want to be called Rose Temple. But anyway, whatever. The doctor calls the Meep he, and she's supposed to be 15, so I'm guessing she hasn't been gender reassigned. She's non-binary, by the way, and how do they put it? Female presenting. But I'm certain no surgery has happened. 15-year-old, obviously, unless Donna allowed it to happen and signed forms. But I doubt that very much. So I'm sure all the big boy plumbing's down there. But anyway, she says to the doctor, did you just assume it's pronouns or presume it's pronouns? And he went, oh yeah, I think I did, didn't I? It says, do you want to be a he, she, or they? And then the Meep says, the Meep prefers the definite preferred pronouns is the definite article. I am simply the Meep. And he went, oh yeah, I do that too. Because he's the doctor, isn't he? So that's what this comes from, right? But it's, as I said, it's talking about preferred pronouns, not actual pronouns, English and all that. Language. Anyway, right. The return of Doctor Who proved to be just what the Doctor ordered for fans tuning in to watch the show's first anniversary special over the weekend. Oh, excuse me. I've just eaten some crumpets. Got some English. And they're repeating on me. Right. If the excitement around David Tennant and Catherine Tate's comeback to the franchise wasn't enough, the special also featured Heartstopper's Yasmin Finney as Donna Noble's on-screen daughter, Rose, as well as BAFTA winner Miriam Margolyes, lending her voice to a new alien adversary, the Meep. And it's new to TV. It's actually been around, since 1981 or something like that, in the Doctor Who comic, Doctor Who Weekly, which I did get for a while when I was a kid. Right, and while the reception has been largely glowing for the hour-long episode, there's one particular scene that's unfortunately caused a lot of debate from certain critics. Indeed, the usual suspects. I wonder who that. I don't know. I'm not going to click on it. Daily Mail. Here we go. Unheard.com, GB News, and the Daily Mail. That's what the links take you to. I just thought I'd tell you that. Should have said Heartstopper to make the pun complete. Yes. Because the two hearts. For some reason, when I think two hearts, I'm always thinking of Fergal Sharkey, but that was a good heart, wasn't it? Why do I think two hearts? I don't know. But anyway. Indeed, the usual suspects have seized the opportunity to focus in on one throwaway scene that saw the Doctor and Rose discussing the Meep preferred pronouns, with the latter admonishing the former for making assumptions. All this will, be explained when we get down here to this. It later transpired that the Meep actually swerves traditional gender pronouns altogether, instead using the definite article. I am always the Meep, the character noted, to which the Doctor remarked, I do that too. But obviously we're not told about, the Meep's biological nature. Is it a gender, or, does it have a male or female, or is it neither, or is it both? This is covered in the little clip that we're going to see in a minute. Since then, certain sections of the media have used the scene as an excuse to claim that Doctor Who has become too deep sigh woke in its new incarnation, but one Whovian has taken the opportunity to dispel this, except it doesn't. Twitter user Amy's Jedi shared a short scene from a Doctor Who episode that first aired in February 1972. Yes, more than 50 years ago. in which the Doctor and his then companion Joe get into it about a certain alien's pronouns. Right, we'll play it. So the Doctor and Joe briefly discuss Alpha Centauri's pronouns, 1972. If you remember Alpha Centauri, not just a star, in Doctor Who, it were an alien with one massive eye, a bit like Mike Wazowski from Monsters, Inc., but different. Right, hope this works. Hope you can hear it. I'll mute my mic just in case.
I hardly think Centauri would hurt a fly, would you?
No, I think he's rather sweet. Or is he a she?
Neither. She's an it. It's a hermaphrodite hexapod.
Oh.
There you go. She's an it and a hermaphrodite hexapod. So that's explained its biological pronoun, not its preferred pronoun, its actual pronoun. Because of its biological nature, not what it wanted to be. He described what it actually was. So, quote, I've said Doctor Who has always been this way, one viewer responded, while another enthused. Doctor Who talking about pronouns in 1972, king. But they've all missed the point, haven't they? Meanwhile, responding to additional parts of the scene, one Whovian pointed out, the wording has definitely not aged well, but Doctor Who has always been progressive. And this is this again. Is this the same clip? It looks like it, doesn't it? Probably the same clip. I'll play it again.
I hardly think Centauri would hurt a...
Yes, it is the same clip. Doctor Who discussing pronouns back in 1972. Oh, this is a new one, is it? Let's see. Oh, it says GIF there. Never mind. It's the same clip. Oh, do pronouns. Judging by your logic, Doctor Who died back in 1972. As I said, it's describing its biological nature. It's language pronouns, it's actual what it is, the Centauri. It's a hermaphroditic, whatever they called it. Not its preferred pronouns, not what it would like to be referred to as. Blah 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 blah. Is it all going to be all right? The second of blah blah. No, this shooty Gatwa. Oh, that's the end. So there we go. So all these people are idiots. Apart from Nerdrotic, right? Hang on. Did the BBC Disney bring back David Tennant for the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who to celebrate 5 decades of a brilliant show, or correct the Doctor's pronouns? # rest in peace, Doctor Who. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just Russell T Davies getting things off his chest. To be honest, I think Gary. I think that's what's going on. And hopefully he's got it off his chest, and the rest of the 60th anniversary specials and shoot his season 1 can progress, as we would like, hopefully, with some good stories. But Russell T Davies has always put his politics and whatever, you know what I mean, into his stories. He's an openly gay man, so he's always had a lot of gay and bisexual, things in his scripts. Captain Jack, for instance, and all that. So, which is fair enough, as long as it doesn't take away, as long as it doesn't distract from the main story, which it usually doesn't. But this was just plonked in there, just for no reason whatsoever. But anyway. But Wingrace says, I don't think it was that different from some of the stuff in Torchwood, to be honest, maybe a bit more forward. Like I said, it didn't put me off the episode. Sometimes, stuff like this, it that drags you out of it, doesn't it? Because you're like going, oh, for God's sake, here we go again. But this wasn't that bad, in my opinion. I think the story was strong enough, pardon me, for it to weather the wokeness. Although at the end, I was laughing at the end when, to cure themselves, spoilers, to cure themselves, they Donna and Rose just decided to let it go. I think it's Disney, isn't it? Why didn't they bloody play that Frozen song? But they just decided to let it go. And I did laugh, and I mentioned it. I've clipped it out. If you go into my channel and go to my clips, if there is a link for that, I don't know, but I've clipped it out. I'd say they're going to let it go. That a male presenting doctor, wouldn't understand. Women can just let it go. Like, no, they can't. That's one thing women don't do. Let things go. But anyway, right. So I've got that off my chest now, so we can carry on. We can move on. Yes, the show's always been woke. A lot of shows have always been woke. Sometimes you can be woke in a good way. Star Trek, for instance, and Doctor Who, and many other shows. But just like crowbarring stuff like this in for no reason, it doesn't progress the story or anything like that. It's just in there, just so they can say it, and they can say it. We've ticked a box. We've ticked a box. But anyway, right. So let's move on. Move on. Because I'm banging my mouse because I'm getting cross. Right. Does anybody else bang their mouth when they get cross? Or is it just me? Right. Next up, Fallout. Remember that? Hang on, full screened it. Can always forget. You're seeing all my tabs. Right. The Fallout TV show has more in common with The Last of Us than just the post-apocalypse. Or as I used to say as a kid, apocalypse. That's how I used to pronounce it. Apocalypse. Anyway, there's the main character of from the upcoming Fallout TV series coming from Amazon. Obviously, it's a woman, because that's all they are these days. By the way, I met my son when he used to go to conventions, and I used to cosplay, usually Stargate, a couple of Star Trek ones. Got some pirate clobber. But my son decided he wanted to go, and he were into Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, Fallout New Vegas. They're the ones he liked. So I made him a Fallout suit, this blue boiler suit thing, and I spent ages of sewing all this bloody yellow stuff on, and I think I put I can't remember what I put on it on its back. I can't remember what it was. 101 or something, or 111. I can't remember. But did all that, sewed them on, and decided he didn't want to go, did he? So, and I also made him a bloody thing for his wrist, a pit boy. I made him a pit boy out of foam. It didn't work, but it looked the biz. It's in the shed now. It's probably gone all mouldy. But and I don't know where that is that I did for him. The boiler suit. It's probably hung up somewhere in the wardrobe. Never been worn. Anyway, right. So myself, I never got into the Fallout games. I found them a bit boring, to be honest. But my son loves them. Right, it's not just video game movies that are conquering the world. Video game shows, The Last of Us and Twisted Metal, which I've still not got around to watching. Twisted Metal have also taken the streaming landscape by storm, providing unique visions of post-apocalyptic futures that hit uncomfortably close to home to anyone keeping up with the news in this year of our Lord, 2023. I like the concept of Fallout, says Wingrace, but I didn't care for the gameplay. Yeah, same. I got a bit bored, to be honest. But anyway, I don't think at the time. I don't think I wasn't used. I was unused to open world games. So maybe if I went back to it, I might get more into it. I was the same with the Elder Scrolls games. I couldn't get into them either. Same company. Maybe it's just the style of the game from that particular company, from Bethesda. But anyway, maybe I'll give them another go sometime. Right, where are we? Now, Westworld creators Lisa Joy and Jonathan Nolan. Season 1 of Westworld were good. Season 2 wasn't too bad. Season 3, I think I watched one episode and turned it off. I might have even watched all of episode 1 of season 3. It just went wrong, didn't it, completely? But season 1 of Westworld were amazing. Anyway, no strangers to bleak tales of speculative fiction aim to keep the bad times going with Fallout, an adaptation of the Bethesda video games set in a future that's been devastated by nuclear war, leaving only the remnants of a world that had a peculiar affinity for mid-20th century retro-futurism. Well, yeah, wasn't it supposed to have happened in the 50s, the war? I thought that was the point. Anyway, As part of its exclusive first look at the show, Vanity Fair has revealed that Yellow Jackets alum Ella Purnell is starring in Fallout as Lucy, a member of an affluent society that's managed to reside in relative prosperity underground. Well, presumably in a vault then. While the surface dwellers tear one another to pieces, when a rescue mission forces her to leave her cosy home behind for the first time, Lucy soon finds herself struggling to survive in what Vanity Fair describes as a hellscape crawling with giant insects, voracious mutant animal abominations, pardon me, and a human population of sun-baked miscreants who make the manners, morals, and hygiene of the gunslinging Old West look like Downton Abbey. Cool! You can already see how Fallout recalls The Last of Us in exploring how class tensions and humanity's sense of morality would have to evolve in a post-apocalyptic setting overrun by honest-to-goodness monsters. The games are about a culture of division and haves and have-nots that unfortunately have only gotten more and more acute in this country. I presume you mean America, not this country, but I mean. And around the world over the last decades, Nolan told Vanity Fair. But the parallels don't end there. And there's another shot of presumably a devastated city. I don't know, but it Boston, the first one was set in. I don't know, I can't remember. One was set in Vegas, obviously. One was set in Washington. One was set in Boston. Was it Fallout 4 that's in Boston? I can't remember. Or that Fallout 3? I don't know. The front end of a plane. Where's the rest of it? Don't know. While Lucy might be more naive and come from a far more pleasant upbringing than The Last of Us co-lead Ella, Bella Ramsey, they're both young people who have never known a better world. Not only that, their respective TV shows see them thrown out of the pan and into the fire as they journey across the post-apocalyptic wilderness for the first time in their lives. But I bet she's great. I bet she can, overcome all the things that are thrown at her. It's going to be super easy, barely an inconvenience. I bet it is. Right, where were we? Lucy in particular is none too well prepared for the terrors that await her on her adventure, which also offers Fallout a chance to engage in a blend of horror action and social satire resembling that of The Last of Us, as well as the original games that inspired it. As Nolan put it, by the way, this is Jonathan Nolan, remember, not Christopher Nolan. I think, is he his brother? I think. We get to talk about that in a wonderful speculative fiction way. I think we're all looking at the world and going, God, things seem to be heading in a very, very frightening direction. They say that all the time, though. It's always been like that. Well, for years and years, anyway. We thought it were all going to be lovely, didn't we? After the Berlin Wall came down and, the Soviet Union collapsed, we thought we're going to have this wonderful, wonderful, peaceful future. Didn't work out, did it? Themes of privilege and thinly veiled social commentary on the status quo of the real world were also fundamental to Westworld, a show that would often twist itself into a convoluted pretzel, trying desperately to stay one step ahead of its viewers, but could never be accused of lacking ambition. With Captain, I don't know, because when I watched Westworld seasons 1 and 2, I was never thinking about what were going on outside, what the world were like outside of Westworld. I was just more interested in these robots that were becoming self-aware and wanted to escape and all that. That's all I was thinking about. Couldn't give a monkeys about the real world. Anyway, with Captain Marvel writer, oh great, Geneva Robertson Dworet, and Portlandia scribe Graham Wagner, acting as showrunners instead of Nolan and Joy, both of whom are executive producers, with Nolan additionally directing the first 3 episodes, Fallout might have better luck hitting that sweet spot between high art storytelling and more accessible genre thrills like The Last of Us has. Get ready to take cover. The Fallout series unleashes its own video game-inspired post-apocalypse on Prime Video starting April 12th, 2024. So it's a few months off. We will see. Not building my hopes up. It looks okay. There's some other photos out as well. You see I forgot to call them. Brotherhood Iron brother, whatever, I don't know. The fellas in the suits and stuff, we see some of them, which look cool. But anyway, so there we go. So I don't know. We'll see. Can't say I'm looking forward to it, but when it comes on, I'll give it a whirl and we'll see what happens. Right, let's move on. That's all I can say about that. That's all I can say. I'll give it a whirl. Sticking with Slash Film. Oh, by the way, I didn't say I did that last time. Hang on. That one on Slash Film, and the author was Sandy Schaefer. Right, so we're sticking with Slash Film. Taika Waititi, and we sat Sandy Schaefer again. She's been busy. I'm saying she. I'm assuming her, his, her, it's their pronouns, aren't I? Taika Waititi's Star Wars is still happening. And he has a specific goal in mind. And there he is. You know, he's an idiot. I don't like him. I quite like his writing. I don't like him. He annoys me. But I think he can be funny. He can write funny things. I just wish he wasn't in them. But anyway. Josh says, I'm sad I had to walk away for work and miss the Fallout info. Well, you can always go back after. Well, hang on then. Just for Josh, I'll recap. I'll get rid of that. And we'll come back to this in a moment. I'll recap for Josh. Can't say fairer than that, can we? Right. Basically, the gist. Hang on, let's put it back up. Basically, the gist of it is I've forgotten. They're comparing Fallout, the new Fallout TV series that's coming in April next year. Said it's going to be a little bit like The Last of Us. They're saying, I don't know why, but maybe she finds a young ward to escort across the wasteland or something. I don't know because we haven't seen. We've just seen images of the new lead, whose name I've forgotten, Ella Purnell. Comes out of a vault. Can you see the numbers? That vault 33, maybe 33, perhaps. She's got to go out and do. It says a rescue mission, and she's unprepared for the horrors that await her in the wasteland. And there's another image. And as I said, there is another image of the. I never know what they call them. Them fellas in the suits, the armor and all that. But it's not showing it here. But that's about it, really. And it's been written by Captain Marvel writer Geneva Robertson Dworet and Portlandia scribe Graham Wagner. And Jonathan Nolan directs the first 3 episodes. So there we go. That's about it, really. That's about it. Honest to goodness monsters is going to have in it. So I'm going to see death claws and stuff like that. And the other stuff. Geckos, there's geckos, death claws. I can't remember what they call them bugs. There's like big bee things in there that get you. And but death claws are the scary ones, aren't they? So hopefully we'll see all that. So anyway, so there we go. There you go, Josh. A recap just for you. Right, let's move on. And it's coming out in April next year. Thanks for the rewind for me. I appreciate it. It's fine. Just don't let it happen all the time. Wingate says, I'm tired of prestige TV. I just want to back to good enough shows. Yeah, pretty much. You know, come back to like regular TV shows that had like 20, 24, 25 episodes a season. You know, they lasted like 6 months or whatever, didn't they? You know, and then you had to wait. Sometimes they had a mid-season split. So the show were basically all year, nearly, wasn't it? But yeah, and you know, with they didn't have to be movies. They're basically making TV shows that are like movies, aren't they? And they're spending too much on them. Just make a TV show, as Wingray says, is good enough, and it'll do kind of show. That's what we want. We don't need $200, $300 million TV series. Because it's just for TV, particularly on streaming, where they're not really going to make the money back. They're already getting the money, aren't they, from the subscriptions? But they're all moving to advertising now, so maybe they're hoping they'll get some, you know, some advertising lolly in from all this outlay. But anyway, right, back to Taika Waititi. Right. This is from Slash Film again. Sandy Schaefer. Taika Waititi's Star Wars is still happening, and he has a specific goal in mind, and there he is on the set of Thor. Presumably, this is the other, other one, the first one. Is it Ragnar? Yeah, Ragnarok. Is it maybe? I don't know. Or is it this Love and Thunder? I don't bloody know. As I said, I don't like him. I like his writing, and I think he can be funny, but he gets on my nerves, to be honest. I think he's a bit of a knobhead. The fact that Invincible took a mid-season break after 4 episodes is ridiculous. It's a bit mad, isn't it? I've not seen season 2 of Invincible yet. Keep forgetting about it. Keep forgetting. I like season 1. It was good. Oh, no, I've gone wrong again. That's the Love and Thunder based on Thor's armor, is it? Oh, right, okay. I've not seen it. I got like 10 minutes into it or whatever. I saw the first bit with Christian Bale, and then when it had Thor doing the splits and stuff, I thought, nope, turning it off. And I haven't watched it since. Right. Taika Waititi might not be down for the count, but he's definitely been in a slump lately since taking home an Oscar for his efforts on his polarising World War II dramedy, Jojo Rabbit, which is really good. A film I'm willing to go to bat for. Yeah, me too. It's a good film. Really good film. Speaking of really good films, totally changing the subject, but I've got to say, yesterday I watched a horror film, which I might actually have to get on Blu-ray. Pearl, which is a prequel to the film X from Ty West. And it is like 1,000,000 times better than X, in my opinion. It is like an amazing film. But anyway, that's by the by. I just thought I'd get that off my chest. Hint to Taika: if your character's called the God Butcher, maybe show him kill some gods. Yeah. I mean, he killed one at the beginning. Does he kill more after that? I don't know. Presumably not. Right, where were we? Jojo Rabbit. The multi-hyphenate. Multi-hyphenate? What are you talking about? Got a middling, bordering on hostile response. What are you talking about, multi-hyphenate? He ain't got any hyphens in his name. I don't understand what they're talking about. Got a middling, bordering on hostile response to his return to the Thor movies with Thor, Love and Thunder, a film I'm less willing to go to bat for. As I said, I've not seen it. He kills a ton off screen, but none that we see. Yes, off. Yes, I got that. Fair enough. That's sad. As I said, when I saw Thor doing the splits, turned it off. Multi-hyphenate means he has multiple titles: actor, director, writer. Oh, right, okay. I thought it meant like he'd hyphenated name, like like that person that wrote the Marvels, Captain Marvel. Sorry, thought they meant that. Like Taika Waititi Smith Jones or whatever. That's what I'm talking about. Right. Anyway, whatever. I forgot what I want now. And an even harsher reaction to his true story sports comedy Next Goal Wins, a film I haven't seen yet, like most people. Zing. Is it out? Don't know. Recently, Waititi admitted to The Hollywood Reporter he's been feeling a bit fatigued by working on those big studio films, which is why he plans to cleanse his palate by working on something smaller next. I thought that's what Next Goal Wins were. Anyway, and he said he did... said he only did the Thor Ragnarok for the money, didn't he? Oh, I haven't got rid of that yet. Sorry. Said he only did Thor Ragnarok for the money, didn't he? Which is fair enough. At least he's honest. However, when he finally does return to the big budget arena, he might just take a crack at one of the biggest franchises out there, Star Wars. Waititi, I wish I had like an echo button, I could press and Star Wars, Oz. Waititi has actually played in this sandbox before, back when he directed the season 1 finale of The Mandalorian, and either delighted or horrified viewers by having a pair of scout troopers pummel Grogu silly, depending on how much you either love or don't the artist, or don't love the artist formerly known as Baby Yoda. Of course, in typical Waititi fashion, the episode countered this darkly humorous scene with moments of joy and sincerity, including the bounty hunter droid IG-11, also Waititi, that's his voice, taking Grogu for a spin on one of the troopers' speeder bikes and ultimately selflessly sacrificing himself to save the day. Did you just assume IG-11's pronouns, Sandy? Anyway. He just announced he was going to work on the huge Akira film next. What's he talking about? Talk out the asses, don't they? These Hollywood people. I don't think they even remember. There's probably that many interviews and stuff. They can't remember what they've said from one interview to the next. So they just make stuff up. Oh, dear. Assuming Waititi's Star Wars film eventually happens, and that's a big if, yes it is, we might expect a similar tonal balancing act. Interestingly, it seems he might be angling for something even more traditionally Star Wars, harkening back to the original trilogy. There he is, a little get. Tell you. It's a bloody gremlin, isn't it? It's basically all it is, isn't it? For the time being, Waititi's Star Wars film, which he was originally announced to be co-writing with 1917 scribe Christy Wilson Cairns, 1917 was a decent flick. It was done in the style it was supposed to look like, all one shot, wasn't it? It was kind of a cool film. In addition to directing, exists in the same nebulous state as other Star Wars films that may or may not ever become a reality. Kind of like Schrodinger's Star Wars. They both exist and don't exist at the same time until they're out, until they hit the big screen. It's a sizable list, as you're probably aware. That being said, during a recent appearance on the Kelly Clarkson show, I like Kelly Clarkson as a singer. That song, I can't remember the name of it now. Always sets me off with my lip quivering. Anyway, Waititi assured us that he's in no rush to make his Star War. I hate it when people say that. Oh, it's a Star War. Quote, yeah, I've been developing that for a few years with them, but I think, with any film, but that one in particular, it's something I'd really like to get right. But so I don't want to rush it. It's just going to let it bubble along on the side. It's exciting. Sound more like bloody Michael Caine then, didn't I? You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off. Do you know? Anyway, admitting that he, like Clarkson, was a big Star Wars fan growing up, Waititi added, I won't do an impression of him again because it was crap. I want to capture that, that joy and the entertainment of those early ones like Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi and all those ones about the first one. So I'm trying to figure that out and it'll happen. Don't think it will. Watching Love and Thunder, you get the sense that Waititi rushed the film without a clear idea of how to tell that particular story and simply rehashed what he'd done before, only sloppier. One suspects that was also the case with Next Goal Wins, a 90s sports comedy throwback that Italic Eye films Ben Pearson felt totally whiffs when it comes to capturing an essential part of what makes those types of films work. I don't know. Is it going to be like Bend It Like Beckham and those sorts of films? I don't know. Another film which also I've not seen. As such, it's encouraging to hear Waititi's taking his time with his Star Wars film. I don't think that's by choice. And really trying to nail down what it is about the movie and Star Wars in general that speaks to him first. It's not happening. I don't think any of these Star Wars films are essentially happening. Maybe the Dave Filoni one, but I think the rest of them, nope, not happening. I think they only say the Dave Filoni one because he's the boss now, isn't he? But the rest, nah. Probably not. Probably not. Anyway. By the way, speaking of Chris Hemsworth, with the muscles, I've got a list somewhere. I was going to do a video and I keep forgetting. I've got a list of the 10, in my opinion, the 10 most gorgeous actresses and the 10 hunkiest, most handsome actors, in my opinion. I keep meaning to do a video of it and I keep forgetting. So spoilers is one of them. Anyway, right. So anyway, let's move on. Because that's not happening, I don't think. Right, what's next? Alien. Moving on to Alien next. And I've got a name that I have no idea how to pronounce, but I'll do my best. Right, this is from the Mary Sue and Chelsea Steiner. It's related to the Steiner brothers. Big Papa Pump. Right, Cailee Spaeny, probably mispronouncing that, dunno, reveals where alien Romulus falls in the timeline. And still, why are they calling it Romulus? Have they got pointed ears and eyebrows and stuff? And bowl haircuts? Dunno. Right, fresh off her critically acclaimed performance in the titular role in Sofia Coppola's Priscilla, Cailee Spaeny, as I said, I don't know. I hate names. Why can't people just be called Smith and Johnson and Wingrace and Josh and Temple, Kanapke, etc. Anyway, I'll start again. Fresh off her critically acclaimed performance in the titular role in Sofia Coppola's, that's how I pronounce it, Priscilla, Cailee Spaeny is preparing for her next role as the lead of Alien Romulus. You know what it's going to give me vibes of, just by looking at her? The Thing. You know, the remake of The Thing. Anyway. Yes, Josh. The perfect name. Can't go wrong with Josh, can you? Saying that though, I would. If I was Spanish, I'd be going, hey, Josh. Oh, no. So I'd still be mispronouncing it. Anyway, directed by Fede Alvarez, Don't Breathe. So also he did Evil Dead, didn't he? The Evil Dead remake, which I really like. And Don't Breathe is good as well. He's done something else as well, and I can't remember what. Can't remember. Alien Romulus will be the 9th entry in the beloved science fiction horror franchise. While walking the red carpet at the Gotham Awards, Spaeny shared some details of the upcoming film with Variety, including where the film falls in the franchise's timeline. It's supposed to slot in between the first movie and the second movie, Spaeny said. They brought the same team from Aliens, the James Cameron film, the same people. Same tick, what's like that was done in like 1985, that released in 86 or something, wasn't it? So they'll all be old men there and women. The same people who built those xenomorphs, actually came on and built ours. So that was Stan Winston's team, wasn't it? So they've got legacy effects in, haven't they? That's Stan Winston's company, isn't it? They changed its name after he died. Anyway, so getting to see the original design with the original people who have been working on these films for 45 plus years and has been so much of their life has been really incredible. Right. It's unclear if Romulus, it's got big cogs going, Romulus, will reference Ellen Ripley, Sigourney Weaver, or the xenomorph attack on board the Nostromo, which occurs in Alien 1979. The sequel Aliens 1986 occurs 57 years after the events of the first film. Catching up with Ripley after she awakens from her hypersleep. Most of the plot details have been kept under wraps, but the plot will likely involve the ominous Weyland-Yutani Corporation. Or will it be just Weyland with no D? Because I think in Alien, on one of the screens, you see Weyland. I think it says Weyland-Yutani, but there's no D in it. In Alien, on the bridge of the Nostromo, I think it does. Anyway, whatever. Spaeny added, as I said, apologies, I'm probably mispronouncing it, but it looks like Spaeny, doesn't it? I love watching those old 70s, 80s action sci-fi films. That makes me feel old. That's like bloody Tom Holland's Spider-Man, isn't it? Have you watched that really old film, Empire Strikes Back? I love watching those old 70s, 80s action sci-fi films, and I'm such a fan of that IP and Sigourney Weaver. It's legendary to get to be a part of it. Alien Romulus will be the first Alien film since 2017's Alien Covenant, which was shit. In addition to Spaeny, the film features Isabella Merced, I don't know, Madam Webb, David Johnson, Ry Lane, never heard of it, Archie Renault, Shadow and Bone, Spike Fern, The Batman, and Aileen Wu closing doors. The film, originally set for Hulu, will now receive a theatrical release. Romulus is also the first Alien film since the Disney-Fox merger. In addition to the new film, FX is producing an as-yet untitled alien series created by Noah Hawley Fargo. Timothy Olyphant is set to star in the series, which is expected to premiere sometime in 2025. Alien Romulus hits theatres on August 16th, 2024. Excuse me. There we go. So, that's it. The name alone has got me wondering what's going on. I love watching those old Doctor Who episodes with Capaldi. Okay. Oh, yes. Making me feel old, yes. Old Doctor Who episodes. Hey. But I said the name Romulus has got me. Why are they calling it Romulus? I don't know. Is it about building an empire of aliens? I don't know. It's about the way. I don't know. If it's set between alien and aliens, I don't know. We'll see, won't we? We've got to wait until I've forgotten when is it coming out? August next year, isn't it? Yeah. August next year. I'm sure more information will be revealed as we get closer, along with trailers and stuff like that. I'm kind of excited about the Timothy Alien show. That's it. Noah Hawley, let's say Fargo, great series, isn't it? Even though I haven't watched the last couple of seasons, but the others are really good. And Timothy Olyphant's a good actor. I like him. You're good in Santa. I forgot to call it now. Santa Clara Diet. You're good in that with what's the face from E.T. I forgot her name now. He's good in that, and he's good in other stuff as well. He was good in Die Hard 4. I even like that. Right, let's move on. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hang on, I got rid of it. I'm looking forward to it. We will see what happens. Can't be any worse than Alien Covenant, can it? Because that were awful. I didn't mind Prometheus because it was a bit different, and it wasn't too bad. Although the people in it were idiots, but the film itself, and it looked nice, and it were interesting. But Alien Covenant were bloody awful. Anyway, I suppose that's what happens when you listen to the fans, isn't it? Try and make a film for the fans, you bugger it up, and the fans hate it. Anyway. Right, Star Trek next. Star Trek Picard Season 4. This is from The Direct, Jennifer McDonough. Star Trek Picard Season 4. Will more episodes ever release? And there he is, the silly old sod. I've got his book. It's waiting for me over there, behind that chair behind me. There's a big pile of Christmas presents. And somebody's bought it for me for Christmas. Marie, thank you. And I promise not to open it until Christmas. His memoir, Making It So. He's got. I hope it mentions the extras thing he did. And all their clothes fell off, and they tried to cover up, but it was too late. I'd seen everything. I'd seen it all. Anyway, does the possibility exist for Star Trek Picard Season 4? And can the franchise continue to feature its iconic title character and his crew? After it seemed like the voyage of Patrick Stewart's Jean-Luc Picard had come to a close following appearances in 4 Star Trek movies from 1994 to 2002, Star Trek Picard debuted on Paramount Plus in 2020 with Stewart back in the franchise. The most recent season saw Patrick Stewart reunite with Jonathan Frakes, Gates McFadden, Brent Spiner, Michael Dorn, Marina Sirtis, and LeVar Burton, all of whom reprise their Next Generation characters. Hey. Windgrace doesn't want to see a Picard Season 4. We want Legacy, don't we? That's what we're after. But with the new Enterprise, I still don't want to see the Titan A. I want to see the Titan A. Don't see the Enterprise G. I want to see the Titan A. Anyway. Now, with that series having released its 3rd season in 2023, could there be room for Picard's journey to continue? Season 4 for Star Trek Picard? There's a nice poster from Picard Season 3. Oh, no. Oh, it must be Picard Season 2, maybe. Or even 1, I don't know. Because it's all them. It's 1. Season 1, because he's there. God. Saying that, though, I didn't mind Picard Season 1. Much in the same way that I didn't mind Discovery Season 1 because it were new and I just wanted to see what happened. Then they all went wrong, didn't they? After that, and the final episode of Picard Season 1 was bloody awful. But up to it, it was mostly okay for me. But, with bits in it that I didn't like. Echeb or Icheb. I always call him Echeb, but he's Icheb, isn't it? Dying, for instance. Anyway, first things first, Season 3 of Star Trek Picard was repeatedly billed as being the last outing for the show. Now, just because it was stated that the third season served as the show's finale doesn't necessarily mean that a Season 4 will not happen. Producer Akiva Goldsman, how the hell have I become so successful, Goldsman, has gone on record via Trek Movie saying that Season 3 needn't be the final one. Pardon me. If Stuart was game for more. Behave yourself, princess. That cat of mine. Icheb isn't dead. No, it wasn't him, was it? It was somebody else. She was mistaken, 7 of 9. It was a different one. Right, quote, Akiva Goldsman. Yeah, I think 3 seasons is the story as imagined. For me, as many seasons as Patrick Stewart wants to do, that's as many seasons of Picard there should be. However, Goldsman said this in 2021, ahead of the Season 2 premiere, so his comments could possibly be outdated. Furthermore, from the outset, Star Trek Picard was indeed envisioned and planned as a 3-season series. But Sir Stuart, me Sir Patrick, Sir Pat Stew himself indicated in January 2023 via Deadline, prior to Season 3, that he would be open for a potential Season 4. There is still enormous potential for matters in what we can do, and there are doors left open, and we didn't close all of them. I sound more like Brian Blessed then, didn't I, than Patrick Stewart. Ho, ho, there is still enormous potential. Anyway, whatever. At this point, though, it seems unlikely that Star Trek Picard will continue on for more seasons in its current form, but by no means does the story have to end. Just Temple says, are you telling me that he lived through being brutally torn apart, Wingrace? If so, that makes it even worse for me. It was sad, wasn't it? Because it was that horrible woman that looked a lot like Marina Sirtis, wasn't it, in Season 1? I think, is that Marina Sirtis? She looked a lot like her, didn't she? That got murdered by 7 of 9. See, Wingrace is saying, didn't happen. Denying it. Anyway, where were we? Right. The continuing adventures of Jean-Luc Picard. Never one to rest on his laurels, Patrick Stewart has made no attempt at hiding the fact that he would like to do more Star Trek. In fact, in his recently published memoir, Making It So, which is over there in a sealed envelope, well, Amazon thing, Stewart included the following passage via Time magazine, intently expressing his eagerness to star in a Picard movie. I am gently pushing Paramount to let us do one single Picard movie, not a Next Generation movie, as we have already done 4 of those. It's all about him, innit? He can't help himself. This would be an expansion and deepening of the universe as we've seen it in Star Trek Picard. I've discussed this with Jonathan, Brent, and LeVar, and they are all game. So talk to all the lads, apart from Michael Dawn. Jonathan is my first choice to direct it. Frakes, who of course played Jean-Luc's first officer Will Riker, helmed 2 Trek features already, 1996's First Contact and 1998's Insurrection. As such, he is heavily invested in the Star Trek universe, both behind and in front of the camera. Another movie led by Picard, Riker and crew is a fine idea, but Picard Season 3 showrunner Terry Matalas has his eyes set on a different prize, a new legacy for the Next Generation crew. Speaking to SFX magazine via Trek Movie. Oh, hang on. If you add it to his background, we're still talking about Icheb, by the way. If you add it to his background, he's one of the most tragic characters in Star Trek. Yeah. He is, because, as I said, he was basically created by his parents. One of his parents, Crowley, from Supernatural. I forgot his name now. It'll come to me. I can't remember his name. He's also in Firefly. He's been in loads of stuff. His dad was famous as well. Morgan Shepherd. So Shepherd. What's his first name? Can't remember. Him anyway. That was one of Icheb's parents, wasn't it? They created him as a weapon to destroy the Borg, didn't they? And Josh says, that's right. Seasons 1 and 2 and all of STD is a holodeck sim that was made for Moriarty. Yeah, that'll do for me. That'll do for me. Right, where were we? Speaking to SFX magazine via Trek Movie in January, Akiva Goldsman acknowledged the potential for elements of Star Trek Picard to become pieces of future standalone content. Quote, are there things in Picard that could be their own storytelling arc or their own storytelling spines? Yeah, for sure. It's that direction of the expanse of the Star Trek universe that turns out to be above my pay grade. Above Akiva Goldsman's pay grade? Bloody hell. Additionally, Terry Matalas has not been shy with his desire to spin Picard off into another series, which in his mind would be titled Star Trek Legacy. Hashtag Star Trek Legacy. What are you doing? Yes, you're being naughty, aren't you? What are you up to? I bet they can see you there. Hang on. Hang on, let me move back. Ladies and gentlemen, can see you being naughty there. You see you? Bloody cats. Bloody cats. Anyway, where were we? Wingray says, exactly. Or time travel from season 2 undid it. Or Q saved him. Q's son being his best friend. Or it was all a false memory implanted in 7 so Icheb could go underground like the beta cannon. See, you've got it all worked out. Got it all worked out. Yes, it was all Q. It was Q that did it when he clicked his fingers and sent them all back to the right time. He righted all the wrongs. Changed everything. Got rid of the nice Borg as well. And Icheb's alive. And all that jazz. Picard's not a positronic anymore. That, they just think he is. He ain't. He's a real boy. Anyway, where were we? Start again. Additionally, Terry Matalas has not been shy with his desire to spin Picard off into another series, which in his mind will be titled Star Trek Legacy. Hashtag Star Trek Legacy. This series would pick up with the crew of the USS Titan A, with Jerry Ryan's Captain 7 of 9 in command. Picard concluded with 7 in the Titan's captain's chair, also along for the ride with Jean-Luc and Beverly Crusher's son Jack, as well as several new other characters introduced in Star Trek Picard. What's more is that Patrick Stewart, Jonathan Frakes, and more have thrown their names onto the pile of potential guest stars who could pop into this new spin-off. Frakes spoke on a continuation of what was laid down in Picard back in late 2022 via Den of Geek. As you'll see by the end of the season, it's ripe for a continuation of some version of what we've established in the show. Not more Picard, but certainly Next Gen is alive and well. So Legacy would be set up to follow this new crew and their voyagers aboard the Titan A in the 25th century. Can't help it. Buck Rogers. Only it's currently far from greenlit. Paramount Plus is running a business with its streaming service and there's only so much money to go around for new Trek projects. Well, then can the ones that nobody wants. Star Trek Academy, for instance. Starfleet Academy, whatever it's called. Section 31. Can that? Nobody wants to see that either. However, given the enormously positive audience response to Picard Season 3, getting Star Trek Legacy made seems like a no-brainer, unless you called Alex Kurtzman. No official word on its development has been spoken, though. They keep talking about Section 31 and Starfleet Academy, don't they? He's hoping it just goes away. Is Alex Kurtzman. Star Trek Legacy. Anyway, the entirety of Patrick Stewart's 36-year run as Jean-Luc Picard, including Star Trek The Next Generation, Star Trek Generation, Star Trek First Contact, Star Trek Interaction, Star Trek Nemesis, and all 3 seasons of Star Trek Picard, Can be streamed on Paramount Plus. There we go. Snotted. I stopped. A big bubble didn't come out my nose then. Ah, dear. So there we go. So you're all up to date on, Jean-Luc Picard's future or not in the Star Trek universe / multiverse, whatever. Right, hang on. But not Prodigy. No, you can't watch Prodigy, can you? You can watch it on Amazon, in the UK at least. And soon on Netflix. Has there been any news of when it's coming to Netflix? We just know that it is, don't we? But any news on when? Don't know. I haven't seen anything. But that don't mean anything. Right, I don't have sources, you see. I'm not like these other people that are on the internet that have sources. I don't have any. Christmas, is it? Really? Are you just, are you just being hopeful? We'll see. Right, let's move on. Hopefully it is Christmas. That'd be nice. It'd be a nice Christmas present. Season 1 is coming on December 25th. As I said, nice Christmas present then. Okay, very good. Very good. I've already bought it though on bloody Amazon, so I can watch it on that anyway. But I could watch it on Netflix with decent subtitles, because Netflix's subtitles are pretty good, aren't they? Amazon subtitles are bloody awful. I've got to watch stuff with subtitles now because I'm old. Pardon me. Season 2 is around March. Cool. Because apparently it's done, innit? Pretty much. Probably just needs dusting, polishing up and dusting off and broadcasting. Right. What's next? The Boys or not. Right, the New Boys spin-off in works with Star Wars and Marvel stars attached. Diego Luna and, how do you pronounce that? I don't know. Gail Garcia Bernal, don't know, are producing and may star in The Boys Mexico. Yeah, probably. Going back to Prodigy. And without look, completely redoing it to remove Chakotay. So, yeah. It's trapped in here, is it? That's 50 years or 25 years in the future or something, isn't it, on that other planet that the baddies were from. They travelled back in time to undo the Federation, didn't they? Because they blamed the Federation for the destruction of their civilization in a weird first contact thing that happened. Anyway, The Boys Mexico. A second live-action spin-off of The Boys is in the works at Prime Video. According to a new trade report, The Boys Mexico is currently in development at the Amazon-owned streamer, and it may potentially star two of pop culture's rising stars, both Diego Luna, Andor, and Gail Garcia Bernal's Marvel's Werewolf by Night, which I still haven't got around to watching the colour version of that. Are producing the spin-off, which very obviously is said to be set in Mexico. Fair enough. Like I said, I didn't mind Gen V. I thought we were fine. Thought we were all right. Luna and Bernal, I don't know, are also expected to act in the series, though it's said their roles likely won't be too large, given their expanding resumes. The duo is producing the project alongside Blue Beetle screenwriter Gareth Dunnett Alcocer, who's also serving as a co-showrunner on the project. Not seen Blue Beetle either. Prime Video is expected to attach another co-showrunner as the show's writer's room begins to fill out. The Boys creator Eric Kripke is also producing the show, as are Seth Rogen, Evan Goldberg, and Neil H. Moritz. The news was first reported by Deadline. Earlier this year, The Boys producer Pavan Shetty, wasn't a character in Gen V called that? I'm sure there was. Teased multiple spin-offs for the series based on the show's original source material. We're lucky that fans love the show so much and there's real anticipation for Gen V. I enjoyed Gen V. I thought it was fine, as I've just said. And there's a lot of characters to build upon. There's a lot of different areas from the books across time periods that we could really capitalise on, Shetty confirmed with comicbook.com. By the way, a lot of people didn't like Gen V because, you know, it hates men. And it does. It hates men. It's very female-centric, and, you know, men are either not to be trusted or they get the knobs blown up. Which happens more than once. But anyway. But I think, Shetty continues, but I think the most important thing for us there is that we are really diligent and thoughtful about what we do next. He added, oh, is it a he? So when I saw Shetty, so I'm sure there's a character in Gen V called Shetty, and it was a woman. He added, we'd love to have multiple shows, but I think audiences are really savvy and sophisticated. Sophistication? Don't talk to me about sophistication. I've been to Leeds. So, yeah. I forgot his name. Oh, me and names. Anyway, never mind. And I think they understand when there's a reason a show is coming out for the proper reasons, and there's a real story to tell, and it feels of the same world, but different. I think they can sniff out when it's just a show for the show's sake. So we are really thinking about what the next show could be and how it can be thoughtful and fit into the universe and feel like it's a puzzle piece that fits in with everything else. It's not just a show for show's sake. I don't know, though. I think Gen V felt a bit like a show for show's sake. Although it did reference, you know, The Boys. And we did get a Homelander cameo. But, you know, did it need to exist? Not really. It was just there. It was just there. But it was interesting because we learned about, you know, that the school, for it'd be like the X-Men school, you know, for gifted people, you know, where they sent all these kids that had superpowers. A bit like that, but evil. Anyway. All 8 episodes of The Boys Gen V Season 1 plus the first 3 seasons of The Boys now streaming on Prime Video, blah, blah, blah. The 4th season of The Boys will hit Prime Video next year. No release window has been set for The Boys Mexico. I can't see that doing well, to be completely honest. Seems a bit, I don't know. It'll do well in Mexico, I imagine. But I don't. Everywhere else, you know, unless it's got a killer hook. I don't know, but I can't see it doing well. But anyway, I don't know how well Gen V did, because you never know the numbers, do they, with these streaming things? What did Gen V do well? Even though I quite enjoyed it. But I do understand why a lot of people didn't like it. But I thought it was all right. I can sometimes, or more often than not, look beyond the wokeness of stuff. More often than not always, but if the story's interesting and and grabs me, then I'll give it a whirl. But otherwise, Harry Enfield. Sorry, that thing that I said. What was it now? Sophistication. I've been to Leeds. That was a Harry Enfield joke. Sorry, it came to me. Anyway, let's move on. Let's get away from The Boys. Who gives a monkeys about The Boys? Not me, really. We'll go to Robocop. Not good Robocop, rubbish Robocop. The Robocop that that were remade with Joel Kinnaman. That one. Robocop's Joel Kinnaman shares what he found lacking from the reboot, and he makes a good point. The Robocop reboot underwhelmed with audiences. I like Joel Kinnaman. He was in season 1 of, I forgot the name of it. Really good series. I think it was on Netflix. I forgot what it was called, but it was amazing. Anyway, Wingrace says, I'd be more interested to see in something like The Boys North Korea. Something that would be bonkers and a peek inside a completely different area. And he corrects himself there. It's fine. Yeah. I suppose they've done The Boys China, get some Chinese money. I think, has Hollywood fallen out with China now? Has that relationship soured? Because we're not seeing all the Chinese company logos at the beginning of films now like we used to, are we? Anyway, Travis Mitchell's here. Yes, everybody's doing well. I hope you are too. Welcome to the show, which means I can do this. Din, 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 din. Yes, we're all doing well. We're talking about Robocop. What was that series that we were in? Joel Kinnaman. I know he's in For All Mankind. He's really good in that. And he was in that other series, and I forgot what it was called. Season 1 were really good, and season 2 were crap. Anyway. And he's going to be in this film Silent Night that's coming out for Christmas, which looks really good from the trailer, a John Woo film. But anyway, we might learn about that in this article. In 2014, 2 years before he debuted as Rick Flag in Suicide Squad, yeah, we're good in that as well, Joel Kinnaman led the Robocop reboot as Alex Murphy, the role Peter Weller originated in the 1987 original. Wingray says China still does a lot with Hollywood, but they are extra selective. They only allow a few things per year now. They were everywhere, though, weren't they, at one point? And it were getting annoying, to be honest. It were getting annoying. Anyway. Unlike the first Robocop movie, which is considered one of the best sci-fi movies of all time, yes, and I'm sure it'll be on Magnificent Mondays one of these days. This take on the material earned mixed critical reception, with some not approving of it whatsoever, and others saying that this Robocop is better than you think. Not many. Nearly a decade after its release, Kinnaman has shared what he found lacking from the Robocop reboot, and he makes a good point on the subject. I didn't hate it. His Robocop. I didn't hate it. It was just not very good. Not a very good remake. Why did he have his hand? He had a real hand and a robot arm. What was the point in that? Anyway, Travis says, as for aliens, going back to the alien story, I imagine a story about the last engineer arriving back on his own planet, discovering his people were massacred by David, teaming up with the Walter android, to stop him. Yeah, but I want to forget about Covenant. It was awful. I hated it. But yes, that sounds interesting. It sounds more interesting than what we got in Covenant, isn't it? Anyway, it was David wanted that created the aliens, the face huggers and all that, and Chestburg, whatever he did. I hated that film. Anyway, right. The actor reminisced back to Robocop. Hang on. Travis says, Joel Kinnaman has a strange career. He was seen as a bland action guy 10 years ago, but now he's coming into his own in the past few years. Yes, it says he's a good actor. He seems nuanced. He's not just like your action star. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like a modern day. I'm showing my age now. A modern day James Franciscus, who you saw in Valley of Gwangi, and Beneath the Planet of the Apes. It kind of reminds me of him. A handsome leading man who could do the action stuff and all that, but also there's more going on, behind his eyes and all that. That's how I look at him. Right. I wonder if Joel is rising up now that Arnie Hammer has kind of fallen apart. Don't know. Isn't he a cannibal or something now, Arnie Hammer? He's disappeared, hasn't he? Maybe he's ate himself. The actor reminisced on his Robocop days while speaking about his latest project, the 2023 movie release Silent Night, which looks really good, with comicbook.com. As he explained below, Kinnaman thinks the 2014 movie would have benefited from catering to the fans more and potentially might have performed better if it hadn't been tied to the Robocop franchise. Well, yeah, but it had an Ed 209 in it, didn't it? Do I need to read all this, or they're just going to... I think we need to read this, too. Sometimes they do these, don't they? And then... But they're in the main article as well. Right, we'll read it and see what happens. It was a cool experience, says Joel. I think if I would have done it now, I think I would have inserted myself more into it. I love director Jose Padilla's concept into it. The one thing I think was lacking in that film, I like to be self-critical. I think that it was one of those films where I think we who made it didn't fully take into account what Robocop was for the fans. Tonally, that sort of Paul Verhoeven satire, because it's so ingrained in the Robocop franchise and its being. It's different when a new filmmaker comes in and puts his voice on it, and Jose had a very clear image of what he wanted to do. It was an anti-imperialistic take, and I think that movie would have done better if we had listened more to the fans beforehand. But I think it stands alone. I almost think the Robocop film we did would have been a better movie if it wouldn't have been named Robocop. Possibly. Travis says, the idea being that the engineer successfully gets the aliens away from David but crashes on LV-426, and that's who we see in Alien. Yeah. But they kind of suggest, though, in Alien that ship crashed thousands of years ago, don't they? Because they said it's fossilized and all that. So that's suggesting that it'd been there for a long time. But I don't know. I could be wrong. That was just my interpretation. But yeah, that sounds fine. Sounds better than what we got in Thingamabob Covenant. Anyway, I forgot what I want now. Right, Reboot, remaking, reimagining a prior story is tricky, as you want to deliver something new to audiences, yet still honour the original source material enough for Joel Kinnaman. While he enjoyed the experience of making 2014's Robocop, he also acknowledges that the feature from director Jose Padilla went in a tonal direction that wouldn't easily gravitate towards fans of the original Robocop. It is worth noting that Edward Neumeier and Michael Miner, who wrote the original Robocop, co-wrote the reboot script with Joshua Zetuma, although it's unclear how much of what they penned was retained in the final product. It would have been interesting. Excuse me. It would have been interesting to see, I think it's supposed to be interesting, see how Robocop would have performed had it been envisioned as a brand new non-franchise movie. Whether they just said, if they called it something else, Android Bobby something, I don't know, and not mention Robocop and had the robot, the Ed 209, called something else or whatever, and not had Alex Murphy in it, they'd have just said, well, it's obviously a Robocop ripoff, wouldn't they? That's all people would have said. They probably said maybe they should have just called it Robocop, because you can't win, can you? Would that anti-imperialistic approach have fared better using a different character rather than Robocop fans comparing it to the anti-consumerist and more satirical vibe from the original? Unfortunately, we'll never know, because 2014's Robocop critically and commercially underperformed. Plans to make a sequel were scrapped by 2015. As for where things stand for the Robocop franchise as a whole, following Amazon's acquisition of MGM in March 2023, the company announced it's developing both a new movie and TV show, with the latter, and possibly the former, being disrupted to Amazon Prime video subscribers if it moves forward. There were also once plans to bring back Peter Weller for Robocop Returns, which would have served as only a sequel to the 1987 movie. Well, why not the second? Robocop 2 were good as well. I enjoy Robocop 2. There haven't been any notable updates about that project since director Neil Blomkamp dropped out, in 2019. I bet Sharlto Copley had played the baddie in that. Yes, Droid Detective, yes. Holmes and Yo-Yo, remember that one? I used to watch that when I was younger. Travis says, Joel's first outing as Rick Flag was kind of bad, but it was one of the best parts of the recent Suicide Squad. I also like Joel to get another shot as Robocop. I feel he could top himself. Has it not top himself? Yeah, I said I like him. I liked him in the first. I quite liked that first Suicide Squad film. I didn't mind it. The second one was better, but he wasn't in that much, was he? I don't think. And Windgrace never even bothered to watch the original Suicide Squad. It was fine. I enjoyed it. Probably only because of Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. I'm shallow. There's a knockoff called Android Cop, which is terrible. I'm sure it is. But I did like the gun one. Yes, that was fun. It was fun, wasn't it? I'd like to see a Neil Blomkamp Robocop, because I said Neil Blomkamp can't go wrong in my book. I think he's great. Anyway, in addition to being available to stream on Amazon, 2014's Robocop can also be viewed on Pluto TV and Tube. Does that mean Tubi platform? I don't know. While we wait for official word on what's next, blah, 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 blah. Right. Android Inspector sounds cool too. But that's just Inspector Gadget. Never mind. Yeah, I hated Inspector Gadget. I did. Oh, I don't know why. It just really annoyed me for some reason. Inspector Gadget. Did me head in. Maybe it just freaked me out. Anyway, let's move on from Robocop. Artificial dick. Hey, steady. It's a family show. Oh dear. Right. But yeah, a Neil Blomkamp Robocop, I think would have been really good. Imagine his Ed 209. I mean, he did an Ed 209 sort of in District 9, didn't he? That exosuit that looked just like Ed 209, didn't it? So anyway, I forgot what I'm doing now. Oh, moving on, that's what I'm doing. Nearly done. A couple of Tomb Raider stories now. We're in game territory now, because I'm something of a gamer myself. I'm not. A couple of gaming stories, and then a bit of Rebel Moon at the end. Right. So, Tomb Raider. Writer on the this is from Video Game News. GN24. Alex, GM24. Writer on the Tomb Raider delves. Excuse me, sorry. Getting a sore throat. Delves into why they were excited for Netflix anime. Because oddly enough, Tomb Raider's coming to Netflix in anime form, or animated form, however you want to call it. It's also coming to Amazon as a live-action TV show. So anyway, there's a still from the anime. Tomb Raider will make its anime debut on Netflix around the world next year, and where they saw him, the Legend of Lara Croft explained. Why is this not in English? Was this like a translation? I don't know. Why they were excited to tackle a new series. Having Netflix continue. It is. It's not an English. It's been translated. This, hasn't it? Anyway, having Netflix continue its string of successful video games with the likes of films like Cyberpunk, Edge, don't know, Castlevania, and Onimusha. Once again, they announced that they were developing their own project into the new animated character series called Tomb Raider. With its release next year, fans interested in seeing the new. Never mind. Let's see if we can get the gist of what they're talking about. Right. Movie writer Alia Hess talks about how to bring this story to life. Lara Croft doesn't only go and get started with recollections of characters, so we have a whole lot of joy. Huo said, who the hell's Huo? Said again, at his house as well. Sorry. Obviously, it's been translated, hasn't it? GN24 might not be an English language website. It didn't say, though, that it were auto-translated, so I don't know. Anyway. We'll see what's happening. While this film is due... It's not a film, it's a bloody series. Due to play for Netflix in 2024, Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft will feature animation created by Powerhouse Animation and star Hayley Atwell as Lara, obviously. Why can't they just have her doing the live action? She's got the assets, hasn't she, Hayley Atwell? You know, she's rather buxom. Anyway, as Rania, what? I don't know what they're talking about. Anyway. Blah 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 blah. Square Enix drew from time to time what the move. Blah blah blah. Ficking. They mean picking up after the events of The Famous Survivor, which was told in 2013 on MTV. I have no idea what they're talking about. She has been looking forward to returning to the role where she's due to play for an iconic Tomb Raider that will appear. Whatever. It's coming. There's a Tomb Raider cartoon coming. Okay, right. I've no idea that was gibberish. That was gibberish. I presume it in its original language. I'm sure it all made perfect sense. Right. We'll hope the next one does better. I think the next story is about the Amazon series. This is from the Mary Sue. So hopefully we'll be able to make heads and tails of it. Right. Autumn Alston wrote this. The Tomb Raider TV series has found its writer. And there's Lara from the 2013 reboot. If you haven't heard, the very popular Tomb Raider video game franchise is getting a series adaptation on Prime Video. I've been quite a fan of Tomb Raider, says Autumn Alston. But not because of the games. My favourite actress of all time is Angelina Jolie, and who can forget her iteration of the Lara Croft heroine? Yeah, I like them Tomb Raider films. I think they're fine. I actually credit her with my coming out process. Oh, here we go. But I digress. So she fancied Angelina Jolie and discovered that she was gay. Okay, fair enough. Does that mean I'm gay? Because, earlier on I mentioned that Chris Hemsworth's, handsome. I don't fancy him. Bloody hell. Anyway, whatever. Aside from the great Jolie, Croft has more recently been played on the big screen by Alicia Vikander. Bit boring, though, that film, wasn't it? It was basically the first of the reboot games in film form, but not quite as supernaturally fantastical. And it was a bit dull, to be honest. Once it got going, it were all right, but, it took too long to get going. Many things still need to be figured out about the TV adaptation, but they now have a very big name joining the writing team. It's not a very big name at all. They have tapped the one and only Megan McDonnell. First, I am very happy to see another woman getting a huge gig. IMDb lists her as a writer, producer, and director. Her main credits are for The Marvels and WandaVision. And she seems to know about this genre. So The Marvels, that big, that hugely successful film. And WandaVision, which I liked. I can't say out about that. But I think I only liked it because of Elizabeth Olsen. As I said, I'm shallow. And she seems to know about this genre, so I think she'll be a good addition to the team. Why does she seem to know about this genre? All she needs to know is that if she played the games and she knows, basically the lore of Lara Croft. I bet she doesn't know when Lara's birthday is. I bet she don't. I do. Anyway, and I do think that a woman's take will be very critical. Do you mean she will be very critical of Lara Croft? I don't think she will be. No, she don't mean that. The Lara Croft character is such a strong woman lead that she deserves a woman's touch. Remember, Lara Croft was created by a man, by the way. Toby, I forgot his name. Toby. Me and names. Never mind. Toby something or other. I also think a series will be able to involve more character development than a feature film would. Having someone with her experience and that of being a woman is going to help give Lara Croft's character more layers and more important storylines, at least in my opinion. It's the Mary Sue, isn't it? It's the Mary Sue. It's the Mary Sue. I bet she won't be able to let it go. Anyway, not much else has been said about this series adaptation. Yahoo Entertainment seems to think that McDonnell's hiring is a good sign, showing that Prime is really investing into moving this show forward. But the last thing that McDonnell worked on was The Marvels, which is not making any money. It's going to lose Disney hundreds of millions of dollars. I think with the writers and actors strikes having gone on for so long, many projects were stuck in limbo. Hopefully, adding more behind-the-scenes people will help them find an actress to take on the main role as Lara Croft herself. I think no one can be better than Angelina Jolie. But of course, I am biased, and I think Angelina's a bit too old now. But anyway. Also at the helm is the creator of the very popular and critically acclaimed Fleabag. Oh, God, I forgot about her. Phoebe Waller-Bridge. It's going to be crap. That's what it's going to be. Another woman who I think will provide a great touch. Yeah, because she did so well in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, didn't she? Another film which is losing Disney / Lucasfilm hundreds of millions of dollars. Not off to a good start, Autumn. I have never personally seen Fleabag, but I follow both movies and television shows and the conversation around them, and I know that critics seem to like it a lot. I think the Tomb Raider series deserves to have a successful run. I hope with this new edition, we will soon have a date to look forward to where we can dive deep into this new world of Lara Croft. Hang on, got a bit here from about the anime, but from a couple of months ago. Lara Croft is getting an anime. Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft is a Netflix original animated series coming to the streaming platform, and it's coming out in 2024. And there's a first look. Let's have a look. Yeah. Didn't look that good to me. Anyway, Wingrace says, I tend not to blame the directors of MCU movies as much anymore. They aren't given the freedom of other projects. Pretty much, yeah. I'm surprised Multiverse of Madness has as much Raimi flair as it did. That's probably the most famous director they've had, isn't it? You know, since like Kenneth Branagh or whatever. For Thor, all the rest have been like hired hands, essentially, haven't they? Usually come from TV, haven't they? The directors of the MCU films. Generally, TV directors that have stepped up. Apart from James Gunn, of course, and Joss Whedon. But Joss Whedon started in TV, didn't he? But anyway. Right, anyway, so, yeah. But yeah, anyway. But I'm not looking... I don't know, that don't look good to me, the anime. But I'm not a big anime fan anyway, so... Shock horror. People unsubscribing. And I'm not looking for... Well, I can't say I'm not looking forward to it, but I've not got much hope for the Amazon series either. But you never know. It might be amazing. It might be amazing. But they're going to get to play Lara. It won't be somebody with big boobs, will it? It won't be. It'll be somebody like Alicia Vikander. It'll be somebody along those lines, you know, slim. But anyway, with no sex appeal, because you're not allowed to have that anymore, are you? In modern Hollywood. Right. The Witcher next. Maybe. Just give me a minute. I've just got a blank white screen. It might come on. I'll refresh and see if it comes on. Waiting. This is from the NME, New Musical Express. Come on, sort your website out. Why are you coming on? We'll give it... I will wait. Okay, well, we'll leave that. We'll come back to that. I will go on to... hang on, is it coming on now? Thought it was going to come on then. It's going to wait until I move on, isn't it? And then it'll come on. No, right, tough. Right, move on. Rebel Moon is next. Right, Zack Snyder says Rebel Moon could have a trilogy of sequels, but that's not as confusing as it sounds. Why does that sound confusing? Well, it could be the 3 sequels or 3 trilogies. So it's confusing, isn't it? Yeah. There's Sophia Boutella with a big gun. Director Zack Snyder has big plans for his new Netflix sci-fi franchise, Rebel Moon, and that includes a trilogy of sequels. He had big plans for his bloody Army of the Dead, didn't he? Where's that going? On whether Rebel Moon will continue after its initial 2 movies, December's Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire, is to be followed by The Scar Giver next April. She could be Lara. Why not? Don't know. Never mind. The trouble is, it says some of these comments appear to me, they're like, sometimes they take a while to appear in the StreamYard's comment section, which can be confusing for me. It's why I sometimes don't know who you're referring to. Angelina Jolie, Alicia Vikander, Sophia Butella. Oh, right. Oh, yes, Sophia Butella. Yes, because she's got the look, hasn't she? She could be Lara. As I said, she's a bit thin. I like a fuller figure, but as I said, they're not allowed to be sexy these days. But people find her sexy. But I like Sophia Butella, and I liked her in Star Trek Beyond. She was cool, and she can kick ass, can't she? Anyway, right. Where were we? Snyder admits in the new issue of SFX magazine, which features the Doctor Who on the cover, I don't know how much I would love that. On whether Rebel Moon will continue after its initial 2 movies. I mean, it's happening with the comic books in some way, and it's happening with the animated film, though I'll probably direct that. So he's not sure. Right. It's happening with the podcast. What? Snyder says, referring to the multimedia plan for Rebel Moon growing out from the seeds sown by the first movie. These are stories that we pitch to each other, and I have to hear them and say, that's cool, that works in the world. So it's happening on a small scale right now. A trilogy of sequels is cool, he says with a sly smile. In fact, Snyder has already planned out the series' ultimate ending. I'm not exactly sure how long it would take to get there, but we do know where it goes. Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire, is on Netflix from 22nd December. Part 2, The Scar Giver, from 19th of April 2024. The above is just a snippet from our interview with Zack Snyder, available in the latest issue of SFX magazine, which features Doctor Who on the cover, as the previously said, and is available on newsstands from Friday, December 1st. Blah, blah, blah. Right. I don't know what he was saying then. What does it mean, a trilogy of sequels? Does it just mean comics? What were the other? Comics, animated, and podcast. Well, they're talking about a podcast. I can have a sequel in a podcast. Or do they mean like an audio play? You know what Star Wars did? The radio versions of Star Wars. Probably not. But I'm looking forward to Rebel Moon anyway. Looking forward to Rebel Moon. Right, we'll see if this Witcher thing's appeared. Yes, it has. Right. And finally, I'm going to have to move those round now, aren't I? And finally, The Witcher 4 has over 300 developers working on it in the NME, Ryan Easby. I've not got very far in The Witcher 3, to be completely honest. I think there might be a video on my channel somewhere of me playing it badly. Anyway, following the release of Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty, almost half of CD Projekt Red's development staff is now working on The Witcher 4. Didn't they sack a load of people, though? I'm sure that, or laid off a load of people. I'm sure they did. In a recent earnings report for Q3 2023, CD Projekt Red outlined what percentage of developers were working on various different projects. According to the report, almost 50%. Pardon me, over 300 developers are working on Project Polaris, the development code name for The Witcher 4. 300. This is why games cost like... They cost more than films now, don't they? There was one, I can't remember which one it was now. Which one was it? We're on about it recently. A game that's it's either out now or it's coming out soon. Can't remember which one it was now. But the latest Call of Duty. The latest Call of Duty overall cost over $500 million to make. You think crazy, getting bad as films. But anyway, PC Gamer reports that CEO Adam Kiciński stated during an earnings call that the team is steadily growing, having reached almost 330 developers at the end of last month, and that by the middle of next year, the team is expected to grow to over 400. Excuse me. As shown, I'll go away, pop-ups look. As shown in the earnings report, developers currently working on Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty and Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition still haven't got very far in Cyberpunk 2077. Anyway. For that money, you better control an actual real-world soldier. Maybe you do. Sometimes I think that'd be a good idea for a story, that, wouldn't it? These young'uns playing these games, like these Call of Duty games, stuff like that, they're actually controlling a robot soldier or a real soldier who's got implants or something, and they're actually doing real life and operations around the world unknowingly. But anyway, copyright 2023. That old Yorkshire geek. Anyway, where were we? Developers from the Cyberpunk games will be transitioning to other projects over the course of the next 6 months, with many moving to work on The Witcher 4, while others are reassigned to numerous in-development titles at the studio. Is that from Cyberpunk? I thought it was from that game. What they call it now? That like parkour game. I forgot what they call it now. Never mind. It looks like it anyway, doesn't it? But it's not from Cyberpunk. These include Project is it Hadar, CD Projekt Red's first original IP, a new multiplayer Witcher title codenamed Project Sirius, the aforementioned The Witcher 4, Project Orion, a sequel to Cyberpunk 2077, and a remake of the first Witcher game developed using Unreal Engine 5. Mirror's Edge, yes, that's it, yes. Mirror's Edge, that's what I'm thinking of. It does, though. It's got that sort of vibe to it, hasn't it? We reviewed Cyberpunk 2077, calling it a brilliant role-playing experience. Our critic, Tom Regan, wrote that Cyberpunk is essentially Deus Ex meets Grand Theft Auto, a familiar feeling experience with one element that separates it from its peers, its unparalleled role-playing. As I said, I didn't get very far into it. Thanks to the freedom afforded by its richly crafted dialogue choices, its consistently brilliant voice acting and the sharp script, Cyberpunk excels as a narrative-driven video game, even if it may not be the medium redefining classic many hope for. In other gaming news, Silent Hill Ascension developers have denied using AI following a widely mocked scene. Is this that thing that's on that Sony? I forgot what they call it now. There's a new thing that you can download for your PlayStations. It's like a streaming thing, and I think Silent Hill Ascension is like a show that you make the choices in. I think maybe a bit like that Black Mirror Bandersnatch. I don't know because I've not tried it. So is there a widely mocked scene? See, I'm curious now, so I'm gonna have to go and check that. So just bear with me. Just bear with me. If this is interesting, I will add the link. Right. Let's have a read. Silent Hill Ascension developer, this is again from Ryan Easby of NME, developer denies using AI after widely mocked berry scene. The series has proved controversial. Right. Silent Hill Ascension started late last month, promising an entirely new experience in the Silent Hill universe. But following accusations of using AI, the CEO of Genvid has defended the title. Several fans have noted a similarity to AI-written dialogue, with formerly Twitter user Voidburger posting that she absolutely believes that Silent Hill Ascension is written by AI, and I cannot be convinced otherwise. This reaction is in response to a scene in which a man appears only to exposit some seemingly meaningless information on berries and his love for jam before leaving the game entirely. Maybe he's a jam character to put you off. You got a jam car in TCR racing. Going back now, you had a car that went slower than all the others. Maybe he's that character. the jam character to slow you down. I don't know. Jacob Navok, CEO of Genvid, who are producing the series, claims that every line of dialogue in the game is written by a real person. However, in a post on X, Navok claims, it sounds like a baddie, doesn't it? Claims that every line of dialogue in Silent Hill Ascension was written by real people, stating that across our 100,000 plus words, 0 are authored by LLMs, learning language modules, or AI. But he knows what they are, doesn't he? And they're all from dedicated work of a talented team. Indeed, according to an article that launched from Vulture, I wish I could remember what it's on this. Anyway, it's on the Sony. The Sony's got a streaming thing or something, an online thing that you can download for your PS5, maybe PS4 as well. I don't know, and I forgot what it's called. Anyway. And you watch it through that, and I think you make choices. I haven't tried it, so I don't know. Indeed, according to an article at launch from Vulture, Navok actually scrapped the AI that Genvid had planned to use for both animation and writing. As Vulture puts it, one scene showed the character getting up, taking something from a fridge, sitting down, and repeating the whole thing 5 nightmarish times. Navok reportedly saw this process and decided to pull all use of AI from the project. Maybe it's still in there. Maybe a little bit of the AI is like that that episode of Stargate Atlantis where they couldn't get rid of the Wraith AI. They kept trying to delete it, but it kept like putting a little bit of itself like hidden away, and and they couldn't get rid of it. Maybe it's done that. Anyway, this is the first installment in the Silent Hill series since 2014's PT, which is still on my PS4. I just hope it don't break down. And marks the first of several projects Konami has planned for the series. Chief among these is a remake of Silent Hill 2, developed by Bloober Team, who also developed the Layers of Fear series. I don't know, never heard of it. Elsewhere in gaming, the popular television series Taskmaster is getting a fully voice-acted VR game, whatever. I wish I could remember what that thing on Sony is called. On PlayStation, should I say? I can't remember. Anyway, whatever. Right, we'll leave it there. That's the last story. I will add this last story here to the description. That's what I'm trying to say. Right. Right, yes, we'll leave it there. Right, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm getting all confused. Right. Right, done and dusted. Don't delete that. No, I'm talking to myself. Don't delete that. Right. We will leave it there. That's it for tonight. 2 hours. Bloody hell. I thought it was going to be a short show tonight. I thought we were going to power through these stories. Never mind. Right, so what's coming up next for me? By the way, while we're at it, go and subscribe to Winggrace's channel. If Travis Mitchell's got a channel, he must have with a name like that because it's a cool name. Go subscribe to that as well. And also Josh Temple. I don't think Josh has got a channel, but you know, if he has, the thing. Right, what we're going to say. Right, me. What's next? Friday night's appointment with Fear is on Friday. Oh, I still my bloody Renfield things out. Hey, Friday night appointment with Fear this week. We're doing Sleepy Hollow. Some might say that's not a horror film. I think it is. I think it's a horror film because it's got people getting their heads chopped off and scary things happening. Therefore, it's a horror film. In my book, so leave me alone. So we've got that coming up, and I'll be back on. I'll probably be back on Saturday, maybe with a maybe live. With a review of the second of the Doctor Who 60th anniversary specials, Wild Blue Yonder. I might do it live. Yeah, what the hell? I might actually do straight after it's done. I might just start a live stream and just review it then. Maybe I don't know. Maybe or maybe not. We'll see. I don't know. If I can get it up on the iPlayer and so we can go through it. But anyway. Yes, it's horror enough. Yes, I think it is. It's it's a light horror film, isn't it? But it does, like I say, a lot of heads get chopped off, and blood spraying and splattering. Even a kid gets got. Josh says, one day little old me will have a channel. Do it. God, if I can have a bloody channel, anybody can. Christ. Anyway, I wonder if I've got any more subscribers. Or have I lost some? Let's see. Let's check. Because we're inching closer to that 500, aren't we? Still 492. Tell you it's gonna tease me. It is. Anyway, so what we're saying. All right, so I'll probably do the Doctor Who review maybe on Saturday night, straight after. I hope it's good. And then Sunday's another news stream. Monday, Magnificent Mondays next week is Starship Troopers. Which is a really good film. Everybody's seen Starship Troopers. So that's what's coming up for me. Right, so we'll leave it there. So thanks, everybody, for joining in the chat. As I always say, you make the show a million bazillion times better. Wingrace says, start a debate, man, for a year or more. Just do it. Yes, join us. Wingrace already has over 500 subscribers. I bet he's over 600 now. I'm going to check. I bet he's not far off. Where are we? Wingrace. Wingrace. Oh, God, I can't spell. Hear me bloody fat fingers. I'm still spelling it wrong. Look. Wingrace. Where is he? Why isn't it appearing? I have to type it. Oh, Wingrace Project. For crying out loud. There we go. 589. Ooh. Tell you. 589 has Wingrace. Miles in front of me. Anyway, we'll leave it there. We will leave it there. Right. So, thanks for watching. Sorry about that. I just had to rub my nose. Thanks for watching. Wherever you are, look after each other. And until next time, I'll see you there.